Welcome inside the Mike's Fitness Equipment studio for the Inland Sports Show. My name is Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. It's a championship edition of the Inland Sports Show. Big time guests in this show as we get you set for the CIF Southern Section Championships this Friday and Saturday. Boys and girls soccer and basketball. We've got a lot going on. A little bit later in the show, Mike Fleming, the head coach for the Santiago girls soccer team, will join us live. We will go inside the Lancers with the California Baptist softball team and the new head football coach at Temescal Canyon High School, Brian Hildebrand. But first things off, boys basketball. Arrowhead Christian going to the finals for the very first time in school history. They will play for the Division 5 AA championship against Bishop Diego. Joining us live right now on the show, the head coach of the Eagles, Lance Evbouvman. And Coach, first off, congratulations to making it to this point in the season. Now you're trying to finish the job and get that championship on Saturday. When you look at your season, Coach, surprised? What were the expectations going into this year and where you're at right now?
I guess, kind of coming in, you never really know, what to expect. I think all coaches always, they always expect to win games, and I'm just happy to be here right now.
Well, we know you play in a tough ambassador league. There's some good basketball there. Your non-league was tough. Do you feel like all of those games, when you look at the non-league and ambassador league play, kind of got you ready for this moment through a vigorous, tough playoff run to get to the championship game on Saturday?
Oh, yes, definitely, for sure. I mean, our league is a very tough league. Actually, coming into this league, I really had no idea of what to expect. But playing in the games and kind of playing against D3 teams, D4 teams, and us being a D5 team, I think it definitely prepped us and helping us get ready for this playoff run.
So you got Bishop Diego Saturday, 4 o'clock at Colony High School in Ontario. As soon as the brackets come out, Coach, did you start hitting the film hard on Bishop Diego to try to figure out what they're all about?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the hard part is trying to get film and see who would share it with you and whatnot. But we were lucky enough to stumble across some film. So now it's just breaking it down. We have a very good staff, Coach Stephen Colvin, Coach Doug. We break the film down, kind of see what they run and see where our advantage is and go from there.
Talking with Lance Evbouvman, the head basketball coach for Arrowhead Christian. The Eagles going to the finals in 5 AA. And, Coach, this is some school history in the making, getting to the championship game. Do you talk about that much to your players, the fact that you're in uncharted waters right now? No team has gone this far in boys basketball from ACA.
I try not to address it just to keep it, another game for us. But I think the boys definitely know. I mean, all the kids on campus talk about it, and I'm pretty sure their parents at home. But I try to avoid talking about it. I try to just tell them, just play our game, do what we do, and just let the chips fall.
Coach, during this playoff run, what has been clicking for this team? What have you guys been doing well to string together a couple wins and make it to the championship game? What do you like about your team right now?
I think the biggest thing we have going for us is we have a very, very strong point guard named Gabriel Torres. I mean, the kid is a monster. Kind of a hidden gem, as I would say. I think, he does a very good job of carrying the team. He's a great leader. He leads by example. And I think you add that with David Howerzile and Bailey Strickweirda. Now we have a combination of going inside out. So I think the ability to have a strong guard who can lead the game and also have tough bigs, I think gives us a kind of an advantage over most of the teams to be able to play inside out.
And, Coach, finally, what do you guys need to do well on Saturday to bring home a CIF Southern Section championship? What do the Eagles have to do?
I would say rebound well, take care of the ball, and like I tell the kids, don't let the moment get too big for you.
Well, Coach, it's going to be a lot of fun. I know it's been a great, fun run already, but now you're in the championship game Saturday, 4 o'clock, Colony High School against Bishop Diego, which they're making a jaunt all the way down from the Santa Barbara area. So, hey, Coach, it's nice talking to you. Best of luck on Saturday, and go Eagles.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, that's Coach Lance Evbouvman, the head basketball coach at Arrowhead Christian High School. Join us here on the Inland Sports Show as the Eagles get ready to play in their first CIF Southern Section championship game for boys basketball. They've had a lot of success in other sports. First time in boys basketball. Now let's go to our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game this week. And, of course, it's back on the hardwood. We will go Division I with the Riverside Poly Bears. Yancey Dodson and the Bears are back, everybody. Poly will take on the Windward Wildcats. That is Saturday night from Azusa Pacific University, and we'll see if Poly can bring home a CIF title in boys hoops. And not only in boys hoops, but Division I. That's some big boy basketball right there. Poly against Windward, Saturday night, Division I CIF Southern Section Championship on the line. It's been a great stretch of seasons here for Coach Dodson and the Bears. They got to a CIF title game, was it 2 seasons ago? Now they're back. We'll see if the Bears can get it done against Windward Saturday night from APU. Now let's take a look at all of the championship games involving our boys basketball teams in the inland sports coverage area. At least we told you about Division I. We've got Poly against Windward. And then also there's the ACA versus Bishop Diego game. That's 5AA. We also have Hillcrest from Riverside taking on Salesian. That's in 3AA. And Aquinas, another Ambassador League school. The Aquinas Falcons will take on Renaissance Academy in 4AA. So those are boys championship games in our inland sports coverage area. Now let's go to girls basketball. We have 3 games that we're keeping an eye on for girls hoops, including an all-local matchup. You'll notice right there in 4AA. That's Paloma Valley and Ontario Christian. We've got Eisenhower taking on Wilson from Long Beach in 3A, and San Jacinto Valley Academy taking on Artesia in 5AA. So 3 games involving local teams right here in the inland sports coverage area. And those will all be going down on Saturday. Big Saturday of basketball with CIF Southern Section titles on the line. And a little bit later in the show, we'll talk soccer. We're going to break down the CIF Southern Section championship soccer games involving our local teams. But when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, we will go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling, as we check in with the California Baptist softball team. We'll be back on the Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog. Hey, what's up, everybody? Don't forget, there's 2 Spoiled locations now. I'm at the brand new one right off the 91 freeway at Arlington. You can spoil yourself. You can spoil your car. You come in here, 10 minutes, you're in and you're out. You're back on the road. Go check out Spoiled, local business, locally owned and operated. And they've got the location off the 215 freeway at Alessandro. And this one, the brand new one here off of the 91 at Arlington.
I felt spoiled. It was great. I got in easy. I mean, the price was the best. The price is just helped me out. And what I really enjoyed about it is that they explained to me what was going on today. And I feel like when I walked out of here, I just felt so special. I said I had a new boyfriend. His name is Spoiled.
You got your flower.
And I got
yeah.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that with anything you're doing, that you have to believe.
Always beneficial, because when you get to play timid or scared, which for a young group you want to be able to
Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show. And welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show. We just had some high school basketball hoops as we get you set for the championship games. We'll also talk soccer a little bit later in the show and local high school football. It's our pledge to you. But right now, let's go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling, as we catch up with the California Baptist softball team. And what a non-conference schedule the Lancers have had so far. Some big-time tournaments, including one down in the Puerto Vallarta area of Mexico against the likes of Tennessee and Texas. Some big-time programs. They've got their home opener tonight, Wednesday night against San Diego State, and then it's right back on the road as they go to Ole Miss, Mississippi for their tournament. So let's catch up with the Lancers as we go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling.
It's definitely difficult when you think about how much travel and how much schooling is on that kind of end, but we're playing really amazing teams, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to build that camaraderie on the field and to get all those kinks out early before we start season and conference where it really gets tough.
All right, Brittany, first off, talk about the trip to Mexico. Talk about maybe the games, but also maybe off the field, the experience. What was it for you guys?
Honestly, Mexico was such a good time. For a lot of us, it was our first time traveling out of country, and just being able to see the whole environment of Mexico, and being able, I think, not even aside softball, putting softball aside, we had a great weekend, and we were able to go out there and do our thing. We surprised a lot of teams, and we played together as a team, and it showed. We worked really hard this fall, and that was a fun part. But also being able to go to the elementary school and being able to see all the little kids and seeing how their elementary school is completely different to how it is here, and just being able to try to communicate with them, and we brought little wooden bats and t-shirts and stuff, and like to see how excited they were for just simple little things in life. It was crazy. It was a great experience, and I'm so glad I was able to be a part of it for my senior year.
We went to a little middle school and elementary school there, and we worked with the kids, and just seeing how it was down there and seeing how much the kids appreciated it, and we just danced with them. We had a great time. It was awesome. And I mean, the softball there, it was so much fun. It was awesome because we were beating these Power 5 teams, and everyone thought that we were going to go 0 for 4, and we ended up beating them, and it was such a great experience.
It was a huge tournament. The fields were massive, which was kind of cool to play on kind of a bigger field, especially in the outfield. You're further away from the infielders, so you had different adjustments that you had to make mentally, and then you're playing big hitters, and it was really cool to see our pitching step up and our defense step up, and to see that our hitters can hang with the top pitchers in the country.
What has it been like playing, I think it was Tennessee and Texas? I mean, you played some of the top ranked teams in the entire country. What's that experience been like?
It's really cool to be able to compete and really hang with those teams. I mean, to go 4-0 against Texas, who's now ranked number 3, and they've wiped out every team they've played with. Like, that's a huge accomplishment, and it's showing this team that we really have that talent, we really have that capability. We just got to make that consistent.
Honestly, it's been great. I mean, we had nothing. We go in there, and like Coach B and all the other coaches and all of us, we say we have nothing to lose. We go in there and just go play good softball, and we're going to get our thing done. And it's been nice being able to play these teams and being able to, compete with the best of the best and see where we're at. All this is just preseason, so it helps us out for WAC. When WAC comes around the corner, we'll be ready.
What about your experience of just going up against some of the top ranked teams in the entire country right now?
Our experience has been great. I mean, we prepared all fall, and we're just so dedicated. We worked so hard that we're competing against these teams, and we're doing amazing. Honestly, we're doing way better than people could have ever imagined. And the experience is great because, I mean, we're facing these big teams and we're beating them. We couldn't ask for more. It's awesome.
That's what we're working on this week when we go into Ole Miss, is just to continue that momentum that we had in Mexico. We've had a couple rough games, but every team goes through a rough game, and it's how we come back and it's how we fight back. And this team has a lot of fight, and we've got a lot of talent, and we just got to get that momentum rolling.
Ole Miss tournament, which they will take on Ole Miss again, which they already beat once. And then they've got another home game. In fact, it's a home tournament, and they will have Michigan State in town. So California Baptist taking on Michigan State right here in the Riv out there at Funk Stadium. So that's Inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. If you're watching us on a Wednesday night, tonight, huge basketball game at the Event Center as CBU is taking on Utah Valley tonight in Western Athletic Conference play. Right now, the Lancers are in sole possession of second place in the WAC standings. And as we come down the final couple weeks of the season, it's probably not too early to start thinking about postseason basketball for the CBU men's basketball team. And I think it's a realistic possibility that the Lancers could make the NIT, which would be big time for that program. But we will see. First things first tonight, Utah Valley, 7 o'clock tip. You can watch that game live on ESPN+. That's Inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. When we come back, it's right back in the CIF Southern Section Championship weekend. We'll talk a little football, soccer, everybody, with Santiago head coach Mike Fleming. That's next on the Inland Sports Show.
This is Alexander Madison. You're watching the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports.
What I think separates Boost from a lot of other performance gyms out there is really our attention to detail with our athletes. We have small group sessions, whether it's speed or strength training, by CSCS coaches, so you're getting collegiate level coaches in small group setting. And it really gives us an opportunity to build an intimate relationship with our athletes, really make sure they're hitting their goals. I know all my athletes by name. It's a real family-like environment. We're a tight-knit gym with expert coaching, but we like it that way because we want to ensure that all of our athletes are getting better, all of our athletes are moving forward. So it's definitely not easy. We push our athletes, we have fun, but if you're the kind of athlete that likes to be pushed and you want to get better, you care about results, you got to come check us out.
spoiled in Riverside. Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
I can't say because Tommy.
Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show.
And welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio for the Inland Sports Show. I'm Pep Fernandez, and it's a big championship weekend. High school basketball, high school soccer as well. And in the Division I girls championship game on the soccer pitch, you will find Santiago taking on Upland Saturday night, 6:30. Downey High School is the place to be. And join us live on the show right now. He is the head coach of the Sharks, Mike Fleming. Coach, first off, congratulations on reaching the CIF Southern Section Championship game, but I'm sure the feeling in the locker room is to finish the job, right? Bring home that championship.
Yeah, thank you, first of all, for having us on. We appreciate it and everything you guys do, but absolutely, it's about not being satisfied with getting to the final. It's finishing the job you started.
Well, Coach, when you look at what you guys have done in this playoff run, I looked back at the schedule. That's 11 straight shutouts to get to this point. Can you talk about what your defense and what your goalkeeper, Lynette Hernandez, has done for this team in recent weeks to get to this point right now?
We started slow this year. Had a lot of girls out with injury and club, and didn't really get the time and practice to gel and become that cohesive unit collectively as a defense or as a team. And I think what we're seeing is the result of that trust and that process of just staying true to what the principles are that we wanted to establish in terms of defending in the back and midfield up top. It's really an overall team thing, not just your back four or your holding mids or your goalkeeper. It really starts from the moment you lose possession and everybody kind of clicks into that phase of the game. So everybody's done a great job just knowing their responsibilities and working towards completing whatever task it is they've been assigned.
Well, Coach, you've had some really good teams at Santiago recently. I mean, how does this year's version of the Sharks kind of compare in similarities or maybe differences from teams that you've had recently?
Been really blessed with talent to come through this program and this school. And, obviously 2015, we were able to win a CIF championship and make a good run in the regional as well and win that title. So to date, those are our only two titles. But this team, it's almost like asking a parent to pick which kid they love better, This team has a set of characteristics and qualities that are intangible to them, and that the 2015 team didn't necessarily have. The only difference between, I'd say, that 2015 team, which has in history been our most successful program, and this program year would be their season is finished. We know what their results were. This year's team, we're still trying to write our story. So I guess we'll know in a week, 2 weeks. So, they both have that desire and that grit to compete, and they've really come together as a team and playing for each other. So it's been special to watch.
Well, Coach, talking about writing your story in this playoff run, you have outscored your opponents 12-0. No goals allowed so far during this playoff run. Do you guys take a lot of pride on what you do on the defensive end to, keep other teams out of the goal?
Well, Well, yeah, and that's something similar with us in Upland. Upland's had a stellar season this year. I think only giving up 4 goals and scoring 88. And, one of the things that we tell the girls and preach is goals change games. So that's whether you're scoring them or whether you're giving them up. Goals change games. So defensively, you want to keep them out, and offensively, you want to put them in. So however you can get it done, you want to make sure that a goal can change a game. So you're obviously always hoping it's offensively. So we've taken a pride in just kind of, like I said, we don't really focus on, hey, we've got to score, but more so just make good soccer decisions and play with composure, and good results should follow.
All right, Coach, without giving away all your secrets, what do you guys have to do well on Saturday night against Upland to win the CIF title?
I think sometimes, a lot of the times, actually, especially in this environment in high school, is there's a sense of pride and community that comes from playing for your school. And I think that we're going to have to be able to match their intensity in terms of their heart. Upland, I believe, prides himself on being a program that is blue collar. They're hardworking. They represent their school, their community, and there's a big sense of pride there. So we know they're going to come in with a lot of heart. And I think sometimes it's just as simple as whatever team wants it the most is going to find a way to grind it out. Overcome those adversities and those obstacles and find a way to get it done.
Well, Coach, we will be cheering on the Sharks here from the Inland Sports Show. Best of luck on Saturday night. That is 6:30, Downey High School, Santiago against Upland, winner take all. Hey, Coach, it's been a fantastic run so far this season. Hopefully you bring home that championship back to Corona, to Santiago High School.
Appreciate it. Thanks for all the coverage and the support.
Yes, sir. That's Mike Fleming, the head, we'll say football coach, the head soccer coach for the girls program at Santiago. Thank you, Coach. We appreciate the time.
Thank you.
All right, that's Mike Fleming, the head soccer coach. We'll see if Santiago can get it done. That's Division I, the highest of the divisions, right, for the CIF Southern Section playoffs. And one of the key Sharks this season, and she's been getting it done all season long, has been Riley Harmon. So let's go to our Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week, and it's got to be Riley Harmon. And check out this play. So the goalkeeper, Lynette Hernandez, punts the ball. Harmon runs onto it and scores a big-time goal against Jay Sarah in the CIF Southern Section D1 semifinals. And again, Riley Harmon's been getting it done all season long, so it's about time, right? So Riley Harmon is our Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week, helping the Sharks get to the Division I championship match against Upland, which is Saturday night, 6:30 at Downey High School. So check that out. All right, we've got a list of all of the local soccer matchups involving our inland sports team. So let's punch that up, because we've got one boys team, a couple girls teams in action between Friday and Saturday night for CIF Southern Section titles. You can see it right there. We talked about Santiago taking on Upland D1 girls. We got Bloomington and Torrance in Division 4. Beaumont will be home for Charter Oak. That's a Friday night game, 5 p.m. in Division 5. And Linfield Christian versus Santa Clara in D7. The lone boys team in action will be Redlands East Valley. Rev will take on North Torrance for the Division III boys title. But going back to the Beaumont versus Charter Oak girls championship game, we want to talk a little more about the Beaumont girls soccer team as we go into our spoiled slick play of the week. And we had some awesome goals from that Beaumont semifinal win against Roland. And let's take a look at some of those goals, because they're all our slick plays of the week. They were all fantastic, including this set piece, the free kick from Kayla Oldenburg. Buries it for Beaumont. And then later off the corner kick, Haley Jones is going to clean up the mess, boots it home. This game would go to overtime. It would go to a shootout. And finally, Beaumont wins in the shootout. Here is the game winner. Beaumont wins in the shootout 5-3 against Roland, and they are heading on to the championship match in Beaumont. B City is going to host a championship game. That's Friday, 5 o'clock, Beaumont hosting Charter Oak. So best of luck to the Cougars. When we come back, it's our pledge to the Inland Empire. We are talking high school football on every single Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we will have the new head football coach at Temescal Canyon, Coach Hildebrand, in the house when we come back on the Inland Sports Show.
96.7 KCal Rocks. What's up? It's Patrick and 40. Hey, man, you're watching the Inland Sports Show right here. Make sure you check out Pep, man. It's Inland Sports with Pep, but he's on every Monday and Thursday morning with Sports with Pep, man. You guys rock.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog.
God, first of all, I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
I'm busy. I got things to do. But I really need an oil change. I just need something fast and affordable. Well, I'm right off the 91 in Arlington. Let's go check out Spoiled. And they even got a 10-minute oil change special. I love it.
And then lastly, we have use.
Stickers up, lights reset on May 1.
Okay, looks like you're all set.
Have a good one.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Thanks for everything.
Spoiled, quick, quality oil change right off the 91 freeway at Arlington. Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show.
And we're back at the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio for the Inland Sports Show. I'm Pep Fernandez, and we're going out big time on the show. A very special in-studio guest. He is the new head football coach at Temescal Canyon High School. Joining us live on the set here at Teen Vision TV 16, Brian Hildebrand. Hey, Coach, first off, congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Were you looking forward to this first head coaching gig? I know for a lot of former players, you know, they want to run their own program, and this was the opportunity. Are you excited just to get your hands dirty and get in there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've already been getting after it. Being a head coach has been something that's been a dream for me since I was a little kid. And, you know, I grew up idolizing Pat Riley and always, you know, loving Jimmy Johnson with the Cowboys. And so being able to take over a program has been a dream. It's been what I've been working towards for the past 10 years as an assistant coach. And so to be at Temescal Canyon, to have the support system and the staff that we have on campus there, and then the players in the community there is something that I'm really happy to be a part of. I value it, and I'm really excited to get going.
Former star quarterback, obviously from our area, Corona, right? Corona High School.
Yeah, Corona High School graduate.
And you were an assistant at Roosevelt for a while, so you played Corona. Was that ever kind of weird, kind of going up against the Panthers?
The first time that I played against them was a little bit odd, and now they have a red and gray field, so
yes.
That was different from when I played. When I played, it was a little bit of grass and then mostly dirt. So, but it was cool getting back there and facing my alma mater.
So you take over at Temescal Canyon, and I know here we are still kind of in the dead of winter, but what are some of the things that you can do now to get ready for that? I don't know if you have a week 0 or week 1 game, but to get ready for that first game come this fall.
Yeah, so right now we're taking care of business in the weight room. You know, I told our guys that getting bigger, stronger, faster is the #1 priority. And obviously hiring great coaches has been one of my top priorities. We landed a great defensive coordinator, Chris Calippo, who is Servite graduate, was a 5-star linebacker there, went on to play at USC and has coached at Servite High School. And so we brought him on board. I'm excited about what he's about and his defensive philosophy. And, you know, we were able to retain a lot of coaches from the previous staff and some really great guys. And so to me, just bringing in a lot of good leaders, good role models for our players, and then guys that can teach the game. You know, having great experience as a player and a coach is essential, but having guys that can go out there and teach the guys how to do it is what I've been looking for, and we've really landed a lot of great coaches so far.
Now, being a former star quarterback, you know, when I ask you now to describe your brand of football, is it going to be, hey, we're going to sling it 50 times a game, or is it going to be ground and pound, and we're going to play defense? I mean, how would you kind of put your brand of football, put your stamp on it?
We love throwing the football. I mean, you know, that's something that as a player, I always love throwing the football. There'd be times where, you know, we have a run play on, we might audible to a pass, depending on how coach is feeling that day.
Yeah.
But no, you know, I always try to be balanced in what we do. You know, I've taken a lot of West Coast philosophies and West Coast offense and try to simplify it and tailor it to what we do at the high school level with the time that we have and the players that we have. You know, in the past, when I was at Roosevelt, we had a quarterback that broke the Inland Empire record for most touchdown passes in the season with 56. When I was at Santiago High School, we had the leading passing offense in Orange County. But, you know, I always strive to be balanced, whatever we have to do to win and put our guys in the best situation to be successful. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's, you know, who's your personnel?
Yeah.
Who are your players and what are they good at? And how do we put them in a position to, you know, be successful? But, you know, I love explosive plays. You know, we want to be consistent and efficient on offense. But, you know, we take our shots. And yeah, chicks dig the long ball. So
you got to go for it, right?
Yeah, we throw it deep a little bit, yeah.
Now, going back to the guy at Roosevelt, Jeremy Musa, who was fantastic. He went to Hawaii out of Roosevelt. He came back to SBVC, had one of the greatest JC years you're ever going to find. And now he's at Vanderbilt. And you said you just talked to him or texted with him? And
yeah, I talked to Jeremy this morning. I saw on social media that he was wearing number 6 at Vanderbilt. And, you know, through high school and college, I was a big Jay Cutler fan. I liked the way that, you know, he was a gunslinger and that sort of thing. So I talked to Jeremy and I was like, so you're rocking, you know, Cutler's number. You better not change that. Keep that. That's a legacy number at Vanderbilt. But, you know, I'm really proud of him. I was able to coach him for 2 years and he's doing great. And, you know, coming back from an injury, but, you know, he has a great opportunity. And I think that, you know, wearing Jay Cutler's number, that would be an honor for him. And it makes me proud as a coach.
That is a legacy number, right? I mean, they don't give number 6 at Vandy just anybody.
No. And Jeremy's the type of kid that, first of all, has great character. He has the work ethic. One thing I loved about him was that he was a gunslinger, but he was really good at making decisions.
Yes.
You know, and so it's like kind of this, it's ironic that, you know, most of the time you think of a gunslinger as reckless or.
You can't be both, right?
Right. But, you know, he's somebody that I'd say, you know, I trust you to make the decisions out there.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you want to get aggressive and be aggressive, then let's do that because that's the way I want our offense to be. That's the way our defense needs to play. We want to be aggressive. And on special teams, it's the same thing. So to me, being aggressive, being the ones that are initiating the contact, initiating and being as aggressive as possible is crucial for our guys.
Well, with that said, all the special attention that you put towards quarterbacks, and for good reason. Tell us about the Temescal Canyon. Do you know who's going to be the quarterback? Do you have some guys already on campus that you could turn to? I don't know if you have a returning starter, some young guys coming up. I know you just got there, so it's probably you're still trying to go through all the guys.
At the end of the day, we're going to evaluate our players through the spring and see who's out there and who we got. The first thing I told the guys was that we're going to earn everything that we get here at Temescal Canyon, and that nothing's going to be given. But with that said, I'm pretty excited about the guy that was on campus last year and was the varsity quarterback. His name is Koa Apana.
Yeah.
He was a freshman and started varsity as a freshman. He's a dual threat quarterback, really refined as a passer. I've been able to watch his film on Huddle, and I've been really impressed with his composure, his moxie, the grit that he plays with, and he's somebody that has some dog in him, and he's a fierce competitor, and he was a starting varsity point guard for the basketball team this year. So we're talking about a guy that's still currently a freshman, and that I'll be able to work with for 3 years. And so I'm pretty confident in him. I know from what I've heard, he's confident in himself, and at the end of the day, that's what you want in your quarterback.
Yeah, speaking from a quarterback in yourself, that you got to have a little bit of that swagger, right? If you don't, it's not going to go well in the pockets.
Yeah, hopefully there's more performance than swagger. But, if you're performing well, then go out there and play with confidence.
A little Baker Mayfield in all of us, right?
Yeah, a little bit. And, I know that when I was playing, I'd always, write notes to myself and my game plans. And, playing with the swagger was something that was important to me.
Yeah.
I remember growing up and watching a couple of quarterbacks, Lamar Broadway at Centennial, who was a great quarterback. And I played against him as a freshman. I was a 4-year starter at Corona High School. And, that guy had it, that it factor.
Yeah.
And so, we want guys that have that. And, performance has to come first. Sometimes, you can go out there and pump yourself up and put the pressure on yourself. And, you want guys that want to put that pressure on themselves.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm excited about Koa. I think that I'm excited about a lot of the guys that I've been able to meet and see so far. And, but we're still at a stage where we're setting the foundation and we're starting to build. And so we'll do most of our evaluation in the spring and then obviously in summer and then fall camp.
Mm-hmm. Got Coach Hildebrand here in studio, and Coach, as a new head coach, a lot of coaches, they know football and they can coach football all day long, but when you become the head coach, you're dealing with, like you said, boosters and planning this and planning that. Like, as the head coach, what are some of the things you've already had to do because now you're the head coach? It's not just going, at 3 o'clock every day and getting on the field and coaching the guys up for a couple hours and then going home. Like, it's like round the clock now, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility, and it's something that I'm excited for. I knew what I was getting into when I applied for the job and when I signed up to do this. And, hiring coaches was a priority. We want to bring in, like I said earlier, great role models for our guys and great teachers and leaders. Obviously set the budget and making sure that we can afford and do everything that we want, because at Temescal Canyon, it's important for me that we have the best program possible, and that we are able to give all of the resources and tools that we can to our players, because at the end of the day, it's about them. And so for me, just making sure that we're set up for not only for the spring but for the entire season. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that has been, also planning and, putting together a schedule, organizing things, dealing with dead periods, trying to figure out when we're doing spring ball and summer and fall camp. But, that's organizing things and scheduling is, I'm a detail-oriented guy. And so being detailed with it and making sure that we are being as efficient as possible and that we're going out there and doing things that are going to win us games and going to make us better. And for me, that's been my priority and my focus is just everything that we do, it needs to be efficient, it needs to be practical and make sense. And ultimately, we're trying to create a great football program, and that comes first with great players.
Have you had a chance to look at the schedule for the upcoming fall?
Yeah.
Is it set in stone? You got everyone already scheduled? Probably before you got on the scene, I guess, right?
I mean, it's pretty much already set. We open up with Murrieta Mesa.
Okay.
I think we're playing a fantastic schedule. I'm excited about the competition. We have some great opponents and some great opportunities to really prove ourselves and prove, what type of caliber program we are. But we have them to open up with. We have Hillcrest in non-league. We have in our league Rancho Verde and Heritage, and then of course the big game is our rival Elsinore.
Yeah.
And so that's one that you kind of circle on the calendar. And I grew up with the Corona High and Norco rivalry, and it's similar color schemes, it's similar types of feel for it, and coming into it, man, I mean, it gets kind of the hair standing up on the back of my neck. I'm getting excited right now. But going up against those guys, that's what I'm fired up to do. And I love, I want to play the best competition. I want our program to play the best. Wherever I've been, I felt like we played against some really great opponents, and that makes, win or lose, you want to prove yourself against them and prove, what type of team you are.
Yeah. Well, Coach, it's good seeing you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, best of luck this fall, and hopefully we can do this again. But yeah, we're excited to have you as a head coach back in the area. I know people are familiar with your name in the Inland Empire, especially the Corona area. So have you back as a head coach.
Yeah, it's great to be in here, man.
Is it weird wearing blue, though? I mean, you were such a red guy at Corona. I guess you had like navy at Roosevelt, right? Navy and burnt orange or whatever.
This shade of blue is something I'm proud to wear. Yeah, I love it.
That's Norco blue.
I'm fired. Yeah. Somebody brought that up at a staff meeting the other day, and they said, so is it similar to Norco blue? And I was like, absolutely nothing like Norco blue. No, this is Temescal Titan blue.
That's right.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Though this is, I love wearing this color, and I'm super proud to be the head coach.
Well, congratulations, Coach. It was good seeing you, and best of luck this year in 2020.
Thank you.
All right, that's Coach Hildebrand joining us here on the Inland Sports Show, and that'll also wrap things up for us. We'll see you next Wednesday right here in the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio for another edition of the Inland Sports Show. Good night, everybody.